Hey everyone, it's Ryan. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making some roasted pecans. So I'm continuing my Christmas candy videos. All right, so to our pot, we are going to add 1 cup of granulated sugar. I just have a 1/4 cup measuring cup here because it's easier to get down in this canister. Okay, so 1 cup of sugar. Then we are going to do 1 teaspoon. Depending on how you like these, you could add a little more cinnamon if you wanted. And then we are going to mix that up just a little bit to get the cinnamon mixed in with the sugar. And then we will add 1/3 cup of evaporated milk. Okay. And then we will add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, now let me look at my recipe, make sure. Oh, 2 tablespoons of water. Okay, so I think that is all of that mixture. I'm just gonna mix this part together and go ahead and turn on my heat to about medium high. Okay, so we're just gonna mix this all together and let this sort of get the sugars dissolved a little bit before we add the pecans. So I'm gonna clean up this mess and then I'll be right back. All right, so now I have a sheet pan with just some parchment on it, setting off to the side. That is where we will dump the pecans once they're done. My little knob here on our stove is a little loose, so it's hard to tell exactly where it is. I do have it right on the verge of high. This cooktop has a power boil setting, so it's just on the verge of high and the power boil setting, just to get these sugars dissolved. I hope you can't hear it, but Miss Thing is behind me watching some videos right now to keep her occupied while I'm trying to get this video done. So you may hear her here and there throughout. Okay, my sugars aren't super dissolved, but I'm going to go ahead and add my pecans. And you want to use pecan halves for this, just because they look really good. And that's just kind of what everyone thinks of when you think of roasted pecans or candied pecans. However, whatever you call them, we just always called them roasted pecans. I'm just going to let this heat up to where it's bubbling, and then so it'll speed through to that, and then you will want to make sure you're stirring it pretty frequently because you don't want it to burn on the bottom. And what you are actually looking for with this is for the sugars to crystallize. So you agitating it is actually going to make the sugars, the caramel, make the sugars crystallize. And I should have, with this pecan halves, I should have put them in like a strainer or something and shaken them out a little bit because it was the bottom of the bag. So some of the pecan dust got in there. It's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. Just presentation wise, wouldn't have hurt me to do that ahead of time or pick out the small bits, but it's okay. It's all going to eat the same anyway. This is something that always makes the whole house smell delicious at the holidays. And you do want to make sure that you do this in a non-stick pan. It's just going to make your life so much easier. You can see it's starting to boil over here. So you're just going to continue to stir. You don't have to stir the whole time right now. You just want to make sure that everything is getting distributed. Now it's starting to boil all over. So once you have a boil that's sort of going all around, I'm going to stir continuously. So this does take some time. Right now, I like to leave the video running like from start to finish a lot of times. So right now we're at about the 12-minute mark, like from literally where the video started. So ingredients in the pan. It takes a while. So don't get frustrated if you're sitting there stirring and stirring and stirring and nothing's happening. It takes a little while for this process. So don't give up. You'll start to notice right now that a lot of the liquid is disappearing. And in this process, you're also toasting the pecans. So that's another reason you don't want to rush the process, because you want to make sure that the pecans get nice and toasty. You'll want to make sure that when you're making these that you do use like a oh my goodness, a stock pot or something with a wide bottom, not like a saucepan or something like that, because you want to have the surface area of the bottom to make everything toast and crystallize in a timely manner. Like if you are using a saucepan for this, I would half the recipe probably, because that would just be too much for a smaller pan. Until we're starting to get close to it crystallizing. It's getting a lot thicker. Yes, you can hear her in the background. It's starting to thicken, and I can see that it's going to start crystallizing at any moment. So you just keep stirring. If you see any large clumps start to form, break those up just so that everything can get coated well. Oh, I need a hot pad. All right, it's starting to crystallize. They'll get to where they just want to be in a large clump. You just keep stirring, breaking those clumps apart. Turn down your heat if you need to. If they're getting burnt at all, you do not want them to start looking burnt. They're just going to start crystallizing. So just let it go. Keep stirring. You can see how the mixture has changed already. So what you want to do, don't stop at this point. You keep going until they've dried out more. So you'll notice once they get there, you'll see it, that there's more sugars like on the bottom of the pan. I'm just gonna go through, try to break up any chunks that I see, but don't take too long doing that because like I said, you want to make sure that nothing's on the bottom for too long. Okay, you see right now how there's some sugars on the bottom? Like over here, there's loose sugar. We're almost there. It's starting to sound dry in the pan, is how I would describe it. So we're just going to keep going. Look for clumps. Almost done. And this took, we are at the basically 19 minutes. So this took a tiny bit less than 20 minutes to get to this. So these are fairly simple when it comes to Christmas candies. All right, these sound pretty dry. I'm not seeing many clumps. If there are any, they'll be fine. Oh, there's one decent sized one right there. Okay. Give everything one more stir. Okay, now I'm going to turn the heat off. You can see right here it's starting to crystallize on the bottom. Or not crystallize, it's starting to turn liquid again on the bottom, and you do not want that. So, I turned the heat off. Now I'm going to attempt to move the camera so you can see over there. Take your pot, spread it out on the pan. You can see what I was talking about here. It was starting to liquefy again on the bottom. You don't want that. So we got it out just in time. Spread these out to cool. And you are done. Simple as that. So we're done. You can put these in little baggies. You could make little parchment pouches to put those in, to include in your like little candy basket. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy these. Let me know in the comments if you make these this year. Thanks for watching.